Hello and welcome to this latest Weber Shandwick podcast, where today I'm joined by Weber Shandwick's Chief Reputation Strategist, Dr. Leslie Gaines-Ross, who's travelling Europe to talk about what she calls the new normal. Leslie, how do you define the new normal?
Well, I think there's so many shifts going on, and when we look ahead, certainly with the beginning of a totally new decade, we have to ask ourselves, what's going to happen? And I came up with the idea of calling it the new normal. And basically, it's as the economy slowly recovers, which will be slow for sure, how are companies going to position themselves to be competitive? How have the consumer nation, how has that changed that will impact how companies communicate with them and how we work with them to communicate?
And what are the implications of this for the communications industry?
Well, I certainly think that it's changed radically. One of the things that we talk about is that there will be disruptive communications. We think that we can go ahead and work on our 5-year plans or our 3-year plans in communications, and sometimes we talk about our 90-day plans, but actually there's talk now that it's a new plan every 36 hours.
How does the new normal affect the way that companies and brands have to manage their reputations?
Well, I think if you pick up any print media, you listen to the radio, to television, go online, all you see, the word reputation has become grown in importance. It's really tied to actually company positioning, is the reputation of the company. One of the things at Weber Shandwick that we have identified is that about 50% of the most admired, respected companies in the world have stumbled. There isn't a day that we don't find out about a company that is stumbling, there's been a crisis or an issue. In terms of communications, certainly for people like us, we're working with companies that have to be totally transparent. There are no secrets. Companies, we live in glass houses. How do we as communications professionals advise our clients on telling all, being transparent, see something I call naked reputations or see-through reputations?
You talk about television, radio, online, print, but how significant is the impact of the increasingly diverse media that we've got today?
There are great opportunities today to grow your business by communicating to very discrete constituencies that you can get online or to a mass audience that you can get maybe on broadcast. So in the new normal, it's going to be about integrated communications and integrated marketing. One of the things that I have mentioned actually is we talk about broadcast and radio, and we talk about online and advertising and direct mail and all these different ways. But one of the things that's so potent and will be so robust in this new normal is simply face-to-face. When you have face-to-face communications, that needs to be built into your plan as well, because it can be so deep and so meaningful and change the course of companies and brands.
Does that mean in a way we've kind of forgotten how to talk to each other face-to-face?
Yes, I actually think it's extinct. It's become this extinct resource that's actually more precious because it's so extinct. I was reminded of that just actually being here in London and the election, the new prime minister, of how important broadcast was. And we're like, how did this happen? It should have been the digital election victory. And actually, maybe it's because it was the human face and felt like it was humanizing people, what was so important and one of our basic instincts.
You talk about the new political normal we've got here in the UK at the moment, but does that indicate anything about the way that people and brands and companies are going to have to work together in the new normal?
I think so. I think two things came to mind when I was thinking about what does this all mean. And one was certainly that here we have a new age of coalitions and between the Lib Dems and the Conservatives, and I'm thinking, well, what does that really mean for companies? And I think we can safely say that in the new normal there will be coalitions of companies, whether it's like a Bing and a Yahoo working together. How will companies really take this understanding that you can work with some of your competitors or other brands to build your business? So that's one thing. The other thing is, I think what we have to, and it's really hard to get used to, there are no winners, there are no losers anymore. It's like, it's not black, it's not white, it's gray. and we have to face that in this new normal. Things are we're living in a fog here, and it's not going to be like it used to be.
Leslie, thank you very much indeed.
Sure. Thank you, Nick.